die for the Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for the Israelites. Going through it cause we Israelites. One Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for the Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for the Israelites. Going through it cause we Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
Kwam Yasha Allah, sons of the power. Rise from the ghetto when Satan want us devoured. The seal of the Lord ain't found in church towers. Never dying on my knees like no coward. Wanna be an Israelite, you gon' need more than fringes. You gon' need to show you approve and get in them scriptures. Oh, I forgot to mention, traumatized from the lynching. Homicide be the victim, homicide ain't the ending. Kids with PTSD, suffering symptoms, never getting treatment. Something he gotta sleep with. Stockholm syndrome so long, it ain't a secret. That's why I die for them brothers I'm facing east with. Cause I'm an Israelite, crackers better get it right. Visions of my enemies, death flow through my dreams at night. If your mind ain't there, then we don't dream alike. Reporting live from hell, home of Christians and Edomites.
I'm an Israelite, die for the Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for the Israelites. Going through it cause we Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for the Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for the Israelites. Going through it cause we Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
While they play the sidelines, comfortable on benches. Catch me on the front lines, putting work in trenches. Making sure our election, preparing for Armageddon. Mastering this profession of prophesying these lessons. Protecting all adolescents and answering all their questions. Teaching the love they reflection, no matter what the complexion. We got a common connection, a part of God's hand selection. A shot at the resurrection, through us achieving perfection. But to give life takes sacrifice. Battle demons every fight. Short days and long nights. Less sleep and more fights. More wisdom, more strife. Telling everybody that they wrong and you're right. I'm an Israelite, blood of an Israelite. I ride for my Israelites and die for my Israelites. We owe a debt cause Christ paid the price. So who ready to give their life the life of an Israelite?
I'm an Israelite, die for the Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for the Israelites. Going through it cause we Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for the Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for the Israelites. Going through it cause we Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
I am black but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon.
Check out my Hebrew drip, my Hebrew drip. You know I'm Hebrew fresh, with my Hebrew chick, and you do not want tests. I got my Hebrew click. I know you can't understand it, I'm on some Hebrew shit. Check out my Hebrew drip, my Hebrew drip. Check out my Hebrew drip, my Hebrew drip. You know I'm Hebrew fresh, with my Hebrew click. I know you can't understand it, I'm on some Hebrew shit. Check out my Hebrew drip. Clothes with a garment down to the foot. Lil' mama came back and took another look. Them fringes and them studs probably got her shook. But all I can tell her, I am not a crook. Whole team winning. Can't do it by myself, I brought my whole team with me. Tonight I need some help, I plan on killing these niggas. And I ain't talking murder, shorty feeling these niggas. I know she probably heard of us, One West, Harlem, New York, since 1969. Looking for an Israelite woman that I can get behind. Take her to the promised land, show her good niggas exist. Fuck what her mama saying, you understand? Listen. Fourth dimension blue is my cologne. All I did was say shalom and she offered me a phone number. Especially when I'm in the zone, I tell fire to the moon. Girl, you playing with the wrong. Check out my Hebrew drip, my Hebrew drip. You know I'm Hebrew fresh, with my Hebrew chick, and you do not want tests. I got my Hebrew click. I know you can't understand it, I'm on some Hebrew shit. Check out my Hebrew drip, my Hebrew drip. Check out my Hebrew drip, my Hebrew drip. You know I'm Hebrew fresh, with my Hebrew click. I know you can't understand it, I'm on some Hebrew shit. Check out my Hebrew drip. And you ain't never seen nothing like it with a drip so hard. Made her straight, she was dying cause a nigga cold as ice and sharper than a knife. I can change your whole life just by making you my white man. Look, That nigga got the boost, beer sprays, man, look. That nigga got the garment with the shades, man, look. That nigga got the spikes on his armband. And he got the Sheila David on his charm, man. No, I'm not lucky, I'm blessed. Yes, my lady in the dress, they hating, we dead fresh. I'm making their ass sweat with all this masculinity. I can tell she feeling me, my swag on infinity. And this ain't something you can buy. They asking who am I traded in my suit and tie. And I just got a garment from the captain. Catch me in the club smelling like black. Check out my Hebrew drip. My Hebrew trip, you know I'm Hebrew fresh with my Hebrew chick, and you do not want tests. I got my Hebrew click. I know you can't understand, and I'm on some Hebrew shit. Check out my Hebrew drip, my Hebrew trip. Check out my Hebrew drip, my Hebrew trip. You know I'm Hebrew fresh with my Hebrew click. I know you can't understand, and I'm on some Hebrew shit. Check out my Hebrew trip.
Thy cheeks are comely with rows of jewels, thy neck with chains of gold. We will make thee borders of gold and studs of silver. Hebrew drip.
Any man give his life for Yahweh Shai, Mashiach, and Christ, and fall up under that UPK banner. It's my brother and my blood, and I will die and kill for him if necessary.
It's all about that warfare, boy. Give grip, give grip, back up, give grip, give grip, give grip, give grip. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take grip, 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 take grip. My soldiers take grip till I'm stand down. Take grip, take grip, take grip, take grip, take grip, take grip, take grip. My soldiers take grip till I'm stand down. Take grip, take grip, take grip. Now this ain't no movement, this a takedown. We will not be moved or intimidated. We ain't the type. You got a problem? Tell them cross the fucking line. My niggas ain't polite. Soldiers to the left and right. I die for every man body. Before I be a coward, I'd rather be a dead body. This will be my kingdom when the hour pass. You can either get with it or get flipped like an hourglass. We live by honor and no excuse. Just sit the prayer up to the Lord. I told him, then let all the terrorists loose. Hold your tongue or get rebuked, cause you made a truce. But a race that made merchandise out of my abuse. Scared of who? You got your gun, then pull it. Me and my niggas start to argue, it's about who gon' bite the bullet. It gon' take ground, take ground. Opponents better move slow. Attack all for this truth. Nigga, cool y'all. Go to grip, 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 go to grip. It's all about that warfare, boy. Give grip, give grip, give grip, back up, give grip, give grip, give grip, back up, give grip, give grip. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take grip, 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 take grip. My soldiers take grip till I'm stand down. Take grip, take grip, take grip, take grip, take grip, take grip, take grip. My soldiers take grip till I'm stand down. Oh, thought you Whoa, 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 whoa. Damn right, I'm a UPK nigga. Straight out of one West, no contest. We the best to the niggas that's living, trying to contend with the stress. Going through the test, no access, cause you oppressed. Slaves, niggas is dying off in waves. Living in dirt, now it's a grave. Niggas crosstalk through the crosswalk with the white chalk over the bodies of rose that you paid. America's killing us, saying they fearing us. Put the drugs in the hood, now my niggas delirious. Put a gun in my face, all because of my race. Click, boom, flash, put some Skittles and murder my ass. Like a sheep to the slaughter, heart beating harder and harder. Baptized with these words, never dipping in water. So now we pray to the Father, give strength to the Father that's looking for the marauder. That's fucking taking our daughters, nigga, it's war time. Lights up, nigga, showtime. Got the green light on that ass, yeah, joke time. Either boot up, shut up, or get your ass up, cause we ain't got time to be playing. It's all fucked up America. Heaven for the thief, hell for the slave, reaping what you sow, meaning giving back what you gave for a clean slate. You try to imitate, you was always fake. America, every city, state, this is your fate. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America.
On the timeline, giving the rhythm to expose the intricacies of things. Vibe, doing minds, the ain't shit. But getting it is a pastime, so in a minute I'ma pass out. I hope you get it. If you didn't, you can crash flying. Kinda simple if you feel it, past your last line. But it will confuse a bad mind. A damn shame. That's the exact thing. Jazz try. Bombs from the sky. Rich middle of I hope you got all of mine. Bombs from the sky. Rich level alibi. Journalism is high. See it from the parking lot. From the ball out. That was from the fallout. All our warfare. Nightmares in the big house. The murder us for years. And making sure we're running around the pie. Never learned that these motherfuckers burn down. Yelled in the streets. Told them to preach. All of you ain't bring hope to this piece. You rule for time, but we play for keeps. I pray to my Father, bring hope to this piece. Remember them times we hung on them trees. All of you nations bow down to your knees. Remember them shit, they brought us a fleet. Fuck they apologize, remember the heat. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, whoa, to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America.
God is going to destroy this empire. You can see screaming in this place. You think them fires in California is bad? That's just the beginning of what the Lord is about to do. Because you've been evil to the Lord's people. You've been wicked to the Most High's children, man. You've been destructive to the 12 tribes of Israel. Let me tell you something, black man. You got to put on your strength now, man. Put back on your strength and might, black man, because your day is coming. Your day is coming because the Lord is going to bring judgment on this earth.
All right, Most High Christ, Shalom Israel, Isupk, Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana, not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. Okay, and since 1969, this school has been teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians who their true power is, who God is, and what the God of the universe expects from the people that he chose. So along with that, we had to teach Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that the one only true living God of the Bible, of the earth, of the universe, chose Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian people to be his chosen people, to rule the earth. And by that, it means, listen, this, you do what I say. God said, this is how you rule the earth. Eat this, don't eat that. Sleep with this, don't sleep with that. God told his people how to live in the earth, and those people that he chose is supposed to teach everybody else to do the same thing. Okay? And we're gonna break it down tonight. All it is the laws. God gave the people he chose laws, statutes, and commandments. He gave us laws to how to run the earth, how to rule the earth. Okay? He created the earth. He created the universe. He created the stars and the planets. He created the ocean, the trees, the land mass. So who better than him to know how it should be run, how it should be dealt with, how it should be done in the, in the fourth dimension? Who better to tell us how the earth should run? Okay. If you listen to the white Caucasian race, so-called whites, you listen to the Caucasian race and try to get how the earth is supposed to be run. Well, guess what? Today, 2023 is the result. Okay. There is no peace in the earth. Everybody's trying to kill each other. Okay. The people that God actually chose are being hung on trees and shot down in the streets. Okay. So who better to listen to than the creator of the universe, the stars, the planets, the earth, the ocean, and mankind, all the animals, all the organisms. He created everything. So who better to listen to than him on how this earth should run? Okay. You listen to you listen to mankind, then the earth will look like it does today. Okay. I am a Hebrew. I am an Israelite. I'm part of the people that God chose. But if I came up on my own with how the earth should run and what it should be, then the earth would still look like it does today, because I don't know anything. God created me. So I'm going to go by what he said. If he said I shouldn't eat this type of thing, I'm not going to eat it. If he said this is the thing that I should eat, I'm going to eat it. If he said I should celebrate or pray, or recognize a certain day in the seasons, because the earth has seasons, then I'm going to recognize that day. Whatever the creator of the universe says, that's what I'm going to do. Okay? Especially since, he chose me. He chose me and my family to run the earth. Okay? So, and when he chose us, he said, you got to listen to me. If you don't listen to me, then, you'll be on the bottom and the earth will be in turmoil until you get your stuff together. Well, I think it's about time that we want to see the earth, be in, a good condition. We want to see the human race in a good condition. And the only way that's going to happen is if Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians take their original position in the earth, and that is the leaders of the earth. But the only way we're going to take that position is by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay? So let me take a moment out real quick to give recognition to people that are in the chat right now. Okay? This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, Florida law class. Okay, so we have Lewis Gordon, Salakia. Okay, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatah to you. We have Crystal Morris. Okay, Shalom Yahweh Shemal Alathan Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Young man Yarsha Allah from Panama City. He at the top. Okay. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatah and Shaya Ra. Shalom Yahweh Shemal Alathan Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. It's a good thing to see you brothers and sisters being diligent and, trying to learn and stay in these laws, statutes, and commandments and figure out how we can take our place in the earth again, the place the Lord wanted us to be in. It starts right with you. It starts in your house. You teaching your wife or your husband, well, not your husband. Women can't teach, but you start by being the example. Okay, being the example for your children, your mama, your daddy, your cousins, your aunties, nieces and nephews, being the example for everybody to see, how God's chosen people are supposed to behave in the earth in 2023. Okay? So with that, listen, again, who better to listen to than the creator of the earth? Okay, let me tell you this also. Let me say this. Because some people in the earth will tell you that this, I want to touch on this, that mankind was not designed to eat meat. Now, if you decide not to eat meat, that's fine. There's no problem with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But if you believe the creator of the earth designed man not to eat meat, that means you don't believe in the Bible, because the Bible tells man to eat meat. And then on top of that, if you believe that mankind was not made to eat meat, if you don't believe the Bible, that means you don't believe there's a God. You don't believe in God. If you're saying that mankind was not designed or not created to eat meat, you don't believe in God. That's that. Okay? You don't believe in the power of this Bible. You don't believe in the creator of the earth. You don't believe in the 12 tribes. You don't believe in the history that this Bible is laid out. Okay? You don't believe in it. Because I don't care if you do all types of, research or whatever you want to call it on human beings and the structure of their teeth or their canines or whatever, or their digestive system. I don't care what kind of research you want to do. I don't care if you come up with saying, you know what, it's just more healthier if you don't eat meat. Fine, I can deal with that. You tell me, okay, that's your opinion, fine. But if you tell me that mankind was not designed to eat meat, that means you don't believe in God. You don't believe in the creator of the earth, because he gave humans, mankind, a dietary law. He told you what you could eat and what you could not eat. Okay? And it's a whole history. It started with Adam, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, all the way up to Yahushua. Okay? So if you're saying that you think mankind was not designed to eat meat, you're saying you don't believe in God. Okay? And that's what it is. If you going against anything that is in this book, if you say smoking marijuana is what God designed man to be able to do, you don't believe in God. Okay? Anything that goes outside of these scriptures, and if you are proclaiming and having a testimony against what this book say, you don't believe in the Most High power. And it's time for you to check yourself and just come to the realization of that and stop faking. Stop, pretending. Stop fronting. Okay? The truth is you don't love God. You don't believe in the Bible. Okay? And that's what I wanted to bring out tonight. I get the chance to come in front of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians and show them what God said, not what I'm saying, but what God said. I'm not making I say the power of the universe gave mankind laws, statutes, commandments. I didn't make that up. I read this history book called the Bible, and it proves that the God that created the universe, the stars, the planets, the oceans, the trees, and the animals gave mankind laws, statutes, and commandments. It's in this book. I didn't make it up. And thanks to Commander General Yohana and the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, I get to, tell Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians about it. Because he held it down. I can only imagine, trying to hold this thing down for 40 years for people that don't want to hear it. But he knew that there was a select few that, this thing was for. And the select few right now is the few that are going to be the leaders of our people when Christ returns, when the kingdom comes. See, what's the kingdom? The kingdom that this Bible talks about is nigger supremacy. The 12 tribe supremacy. Black supremacy on the earth. That's the kingdom that the King James 1611 Bible speaks about. Black people, Hispanics, and Native Indians, so-called Blacks, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Indians, the people that everybody hate today, the lost 12 tribes, the kingdom that this Bible speaks about is those people running a kingdom, having heaven on earth. That kingdom, the kingdom that this book talks about, is not the kingdom for Chinese people or the Caucasian race or the East Indian race. The kingdom of heaven that this book talks about is for the lost 12 tribes. Who is the lost 12 tribes? Black people, so-called black people, Negroes, Jamaicans, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Guatemalans, Mexicans, Argentinians, all the Native Indians, the Seminole Indians, all the people that the earth is oppressing and hates is who the kingdom of the Bible is talking that's who the kingdom is for, them. Okay? Because listen, just because East Indians don't run the earth like the Caucasian race does, doesn't mean they don't oppress black people. Go to any black neighborhood where if there's a 7-Eleven or a chicken spot or a what do they got? They've been doing the Caesar pizzas. Any place that they own that's in the ghetto, they're oppressing Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Okay? As long as we're not on top, we're being oppressed, and that's it. Okay? So blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, if you don't adhere to what's in this Bible, then you better do a self-analysis and just come to the realization that you don't love God and you don't believe, and you don't love blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Okay. So I'm going to go into the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, and start in verse 1. Because the thing I was bringing out earlier is, listen, if you think that mankind was not created to eat meat, then, like I said, you don't believe in the Bible and you don't believe in the God that created the universe. The stars, the planets, the ocean, the trees, and mankind. Okay? What you think? Mankind just created himself? You think we live in a video game? You think this is a alternate reality where it's a video game and you're a player in a video game? You got to be out of your mind. You are out of your mind if you believe that. You smoking something. You're on a drug. Okay? This is the ultimate reality right here. The third dimension. Okay? For mankind. Okay? You can't wake up. This is not a dream that you're going to wake up out of. Okay? So we're going to start in the book of Leviticus, and I'm going to go ahead and read, and y'all can follow along, okay? All right. Okay, so in the book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Okay? Sidebar, real quick. There's certain scriptures in the Bible that says God so loved the world. Okay? And we teach you that the world is not the earth. And to prove it, I just read a scripture that said the earth. It didn't say the world. The world and the earth are two different things. You just have to know where to find the right definition. Okay. So the earth right here is talking about, well, let me read it again. Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them. Now the Lord is speaking to Moses and to Aaron. Okay, if you go back, you actually read the Bible and try to understand it, you'll understand this. When it's telling you right here that Moses, Salakia, that the Lord spake to Moses and to Aaron, this is another thing. I'm just, everything I'm reading, I'm going to try to break it down for you and teach you, okay? So you can have understanding of this Bible, okay? It says, and the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them. Now, the Lord didn't speak to Aaron. I'm going to tell you just like that. He spoke to Moses. Because if you read back in Exodus, okay, Moses didn't want to deal with the children of Israel. And who would? You know what I mean? Just look around at us today. Look at Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Mexicans, Negroes, Jamaicans, Haitians, Argentinians. You know what I mean? Look at look at all these people. Who wants to, you know what I mean? But the Lord told Moses to deal with them people. And Moses tried to get out of it. So the Lord set it up to where, listen, I'll tell you what to say. You tell Aaron, then Aaron will tell the people. So this is the same thing. We're still in that same concept, okay? So when it tells you that the Lord spake to Moses and Aaron, he actually spoke to Moses, and Moses told Aaron word for word what the Lord said. Then Aaron told Negroes, told Hispanics and Native Indians what the Lord said. Okay, so that's how it happened. The Lord spake to Moses and Aaron. He spoke to Moses. Moses told Aaron, then Aaron told Negroes, Hispanics and Native Indians. Okay. And like I said, verse 2 right here is another sidebar, because there's a difference between the world and the earth. Okay? The world, if you're reading in this Bible, the world just means age of society. Okay? So, like people would say the old world, or they would say the new world. It's just a time frame where certain people rule a society, okay? Where certain people are in control. It's just, you know what I mean? That's all it is. So here is a breakdown. It has the word earth in it. So it's not saying only eat what's in this area or this, part of the earth. It's saying the whole earth. Okay, no matter where you go on the earth, this is what you can eat. Okay, according to God, any beast that is on this earth, not in a certain part of the earth, not in a world or an age of society or a certain, rulership, but the whole earth. If you go start on one point and you go all the way, let's say you go east, all the way till you come back to that same point, that's what the earth is. The earth is the whole sphere that we live on, okay? And God is saying, of every beast that walk the earth, these you can eat. Again, if you believe that mankind was not designed and should not eat meat, you don't believe in God. You don't believe in God. What you believe in is mankind. You believe in what some other man says. And God created man. You think man created himself? How the hell can a man create himself and put himself on the earth? I got one better for you. If man is so wonderful and created himself and put himself on the earth, why is man eating meat today? Why didn't man, who's still on earth, make it so man would never eat meat? Because man can eat meat. We can eat meat. We can eat beasts of the field. There's just certain beasts that we can and cannot eat. You can't just eat whatever, anything. The God that created your body knows what that body needs. Okay? He knows what is going to chemically make that body function the way it was designed to function. Okay? And it's written down right here in the records that he put on the earth for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian people. We are the ones who's supposed to have this knowledge and spread it throughout the earth to everybody else. We're supposed to be the ruling people on the earth. And if we can't even do it ourselves, how the heck are we going to expect the other people to do it when we can't even do it? I can't even control my own taste buds, my own mouth. How the heck am I supposed to expect anybody else to do it? It starts with you looking in the mirror and doing what God says. If you want the kingdom that he promised to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian people. There's laws, there's rules to running the earth. There's rules that you're going to have to follow if you want your world, your age of society to run the earth. Okay? And we're reading about it right now in the records that our God left us. Book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, speak to the children of Israel. Now, it's not saying speak to the whole earth. It's not saying speak to all of mankind. Okay? Listen, it's very easy to believe and to know and to understand that the children of Israel is not everybody. Okay? Everybody knows the Arab man is not the children of Israel. The Chinese man is not the children of Israel. And you might be a little confused, but listen when I tell you this. The Caucasian race is not the children of Israel. The children of Israel went into slavery on ships. Okay? Trooper Mashah, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah, warrior. Okay, I see you checking in. Most High in Christ. So the children of Israel went into slavery on ships, as Moses told us we would, if we stop keeping the laws, statutes, commandments of our God, of this Bible. Okay? So now right here is telling you that it is speaking to the children of Israel. Israel was a man. Okay? His name was Jacob. It got changed to Israel. And his children, he had 12 sons and daughters. But his sons is who inherits the earth, okay? So his sons, those 12 sons, created other sons. And their sons created sons. And their sons created sons. And that is the 12 tribes of Israel, okay? And that's who this Bible is talking to. That's who God is speaking to. That's who the Most High God that created the universe, the stars and the planets, and the ocean and the trees and the beasts and the insects and the water, everything. That's who he's talking to. That's who he told Moses and Aaron to speak to. Jacob, Israel's children. Children's, 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 children's. Okay? That's who this Bible is for. Okay? Verse 2. Speak to the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. The earth that God created and put mankind on, and put those beasts on, and put insects on, and put the trees on, and the ocean on. He's telling mankind, the 12 tribes, to teach the earth, these are the beasts that they can eat. So again, if you think man is not supposed to eat meat, you don't believe in this Bible, you don't believe in God. Now, if you don't want to eat meat, that's fine. There's no sin, there's no law saying you have to eat meat, except on the Passover. In the Passover, say you got to eat the lamb or the goat, okay? It tells you, okay? Other than that, you don't have to eat meat. That's your prerogative. That's your choice. More power to you, you know? But to teach that we are not supposed to eat meat, what the hell you think them animals out there for? Like if we didn't eat cows, if we didn't eat chickens and other things like that, the earth would be overrun with them. If we didn't eat certain fish out to sea, the sea would be overrun with fish. Now, what we're not supposed to eat is the things in the ocean that clean the ocean. That's why the ocean is dirty, because we're eating what we're not supposed to be eating and not eating what we're supposed to be eating or can eat. I'm not going to say supposed to eat, but what we can eat. So if you're teaching that mankind is not supposed to eat meat, then you're an idiot. And you don't believe in God, and you don't believe in the Bible. You don't believe in the lost 12 tribes. You don't believe in the kingdom of heaven for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Okay? I'm going to keep reading. Leviticus chapter 11, verse 3. Okay, I'm going to start at verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parteth the hoof and is cloven footed, and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that ye shall eat. Okay, so maybe somebody doesn't understand what I just read. I'll break it down. I'll give you an example. Okay. Whatsoever parteth the hoof. Okay. I'll give you an example. The hoof. All right, everybody. Well, I won't say everybody, but let's think about a horse. Okay. A horse has a hoof. It's like this, his foot is shaped like that. It's a hoof. It's flat on the bottom, it's round toward it, you know what? It looks like a giant, just one big toenail. Okay, like a big, a big, and that's pretty much what it is. It's a cartilage, okay? And that's a hoof. Okay. That thing on that horse's foot is a hoof. But also, cows have the same thing. Cows have that same hoof, that same round thing at the end of their leg that they walk on. It's a hoof, okay? And right here it tells you, whatsoever parteth the hoof. So when it says parteth the hoof that the horse has, is, if you look at his hoof or his foot from the front, there's no part in it. It doesn't divide. It's solid, just like that. It's solid. It doesn't divide. Now, if you look at a cow's hoof, right? A cow has that same hoof, but here's divides like that. Okay, is a split down the middle. Okay, that's the hoof. And this hoof that the cow has is parted. Okay, they say, what? Okay, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts of the earth that are on the earth. Okay, whatsoever parteth the hoof. So he's got a hoof, but in the middle, there's a part. It's split down the middle. Okay, and it's cloven footed. Okay. So it's like it's a cloven right there. It's cloven footed, okay? And now this cloven footed that parted the hoof, he has to chew the cud. What does that mean? It says, whatsoever parted the hoof and is cloven footed, got that hoof like foot, and chew the cud. So there's two parameters on this beast that walked the earth that it has to have in order for mankind to eat it. Okay, it's in the book. And if you don't believe what I'm reading to you, you don't believe in God. That's it, period. You believe in some other ultimate dimension. You believe we're living in a video game or something, and you're going to wake up, you're in a dream, and you're going to wake up from the dream, and when you wake up from the dream, you're in the dream, and you got to get out of the dream. It's crazy, okay? But listen, all that means is you don't believe in God. You believe in getting high. You believe in whatever it is. You believe in yourself. You believe in mankind. You believe in books that you've read and drove you crazy. You believe in movies that you watched, and now, you know what I mean? That's what you're on. But if you read this Bible and you believe it, then you'll know that mankind can eat meat. You don't have to eat meat, but once a year, but you can eat meat according to the God of this Bible, the God of the 12 tribes, the lost 12 tribes, the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, the children of Israel. Okay, whosoever, this is the beast that you can eat. Whatsoever parteth the hoof and is cloven footed and cheweth the cud. Now, a pig, he has that part in his hoof. But if you put him out in the wild and just let him go, a pig will eat a shoe. He will eat a human being. He will eat a dead squirrel. A pig will eat anything. And that's what he was designed to do. He was designed to clean the earth. Now, just imagine that. You are eating something that was designed to clean the earth. You're eating a garbage machine. And I don't care if you say, well, they don't eat garbage now. They're fed this and they're fed that. Negro, Hispanic, Native Indian. I don't care. They were created to eat garbage, to clean the earth. That's what God made them for. Now, if you want to change it, that means you don't believe in the Bible. You don't believe in God. Okay? You don't want the earth to run the way God wants it to run. You want to change things. But according to this book, I'm going to do it the way God said to do it. And I know for a fact that lobsters, shrimp, crabs, they were designed to clean the ocean, to clean up all the poop and clean it up. That's what they were designed for. And that's what they still do. They still do that to this day. And people go out there after they have ate all the poop that they can get their hands on and cleaning the ocean like God created them to do. People go out there and catch them, put them in nets, bring them to land, clean their flesh and cut them up and do whatever, cook them and serve them to you. You're eating a garbage machine. But if you listen to mankind, that's what you're going to do. You're going to eat a garbage machine. But if you listen to God, you will only eat stuff that is clean. Okay? So, like I was saying, a pig has that cloven foot and it divides the hoof. But he don't chew the cud. Pig don't want to have nut. What's the cud? The cud is grass, basically. Wheat, grass, things of that nature. Greens, okay? A pig don't want to have nothing to do with no greens. They'll eat a car tire before they chew the cud, okay? So if you're eating pork, you're eating a garbage machine. You're eating something that was created to clean the earth, okay? Verse 3, whatsoever parteth the hoof and is cloven footed and cheweth the cud among the beasts that ye shall eat. Okay? Now that's what you can eat. A cow, he's cloven footed, parteth the hoof, and a cow chews nothing but the cud. You can't convince a cow to eat anything but some grass. A cow will die before he eat anything but grass. Okay? A cow will die before it eats anything but grass. And that's what you should be eating. If you want to eat meat. If you want to eat meat, you should be eating a cow or any other animal that is designed like a cow and eats like a cow. Okay. A goat. A goat has that cloven foot. He parted the hoof. Okay. And all a goat wants is some grass. A sheep, a lamb, same thing. All they want is some grass. Buffalo. I'm just trying to think of all the ones I can think of. Okay. A big bad buffalo. That's what the Native Indians, that was their livelihood, them buffaloes, until, Esau came along and tried to kill all the Indians. And that, man, it's so crazy. Like, he couldn't figure out a way to kill them himself. So he said, you know what? I'm going to kill their food off. The food that they rely on, because not only did we use them buffalo for food, we used it for like clothing and warmth. Keep us warm, their skin and that fur. So, you try to believe in what man believes in, you're going to end up dead somewhere. Especially the man that runs the earth now, the Caucasian race. Okay? But yeah, these are the things that we can eat, according to the power that created everything. Okay? Okay, let's keep reading. Leviticus 11 and verse 4. Nevertheless, okay? Nevertheless is, okay, but I gave you what you can eat. But check this out. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of that, so like of them that chew the cud. Okay. So now there is a beast that chewed nothing but the cud. But the Lord is about to tell you which ones you can't eat. And all they do is chew the cud. Okay. Verse 4, nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, that eat that grass and wheat and stuff like that. Okay. Or of them that divideth the hoof. Okay. So that's the example I was telling you. I told you that earlier. The pig, he divided the hoof. But the Lord's about to tell you, even though they divided the hoof, even if they chew the cud, there's something about them, if they don't fit this parameter, that the first parameter that he gave you, you can't eat them, okay? Or of them that divideth the hoof. As the camel. The camel, okay, because the camel, because he cheweth the cud, okay, but divideth not the hoof. So this is one example. The Lord's trying to make it crystal clear to you. I gave you the example of a horse, but the Lord giving you the example of a camel. Okay? The camel, that big old animal, he got that cloven foot, that hoof, and it's a big old division in the middle of it. Okay? But you can't eat him. Why? Because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof. Oh, Salaki. So he don't have he don't divide the hoof. Like I was saying, the horse don't divide the hoof. The camel don't divide the hoof. Okay. And what does the Lord say about that? He is unclean unto you. So you can't eat that. You can't eat a camel. Why? Because he has the hoof. He chewed the cud, but his hoof, there's no division there. It don't divide. It's not cutting two right there. Okay? So that's the example the Lord gave you. I gave you the example of a horse. The Lord gave you the example of a camel. Okay? but we in the same spirit. Same thing, okay? Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that cheweth the cud, or of them that divideth the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof. He is unclean to you. Okay? And it's got some more down here. Let's keep reading. And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof. He is unclean unto you. And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof. He is unclean to you. So the Lord's running it down what you can and cannot eat. He's telling you animals, beasts that you can't eat. Okay? These are part of the laws. Following this and not, well, let me put it like this, not following this is part of the reason why Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian people do not run the earth today. Because we're not following simple dietary laws that was given to us by our Creator. Colonel Khan, sir, Most High in Christ. Shout out to Officer of 5,000, Kazak Damar, okay. He say, check out Deuteronomy 14:4 on down as well. Colonel Khan, sir. Most High in Christ. I'm going to write that one down right now. Okay, I got 14:1, but not 14:4. We're going to get to that. Okay, Most High in Christ. All right. So that's it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, here we go. Check this one out. Verse 7. And the swine, though he divided the hoof. Okay, this one I just told you about this one. Okay, I talked to you about it. Okay. And now the Lord's going to talk to you about it. I told you I didn't come up with that. I just knew what it was by reading this before. I know we can't eat the swine. Okay. And the Lord's going to reiterate it. I'm going to read his words right now. Okay. Verse 7, Deuteronomy 11:7. And the swine, though he divided the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you. Okay. There's clean beast and there's unclean beast. Okay. There's something you can eat and something you cannot eat. That's life in the third dimension. That's life on earth. Okay. That's how the God who created the earth determined how it should be. And I'd rather follow him than to follow any man who is saying anything outside of this. Because God created man. That's what I got that from General Mahine. It's like Commanding General Yohana. God created man. Man, the white man didn't create man. God created man. So just because the white man say that pork is the other white meat, I'm not doing that because God created man. Just because the white man say shrimp, crab, and lobster is a delicacy, I'm not doing that because God created man. And it's telling me right here that I can't eat that, okay? I can't do that. Okay? Let's keep reading. Verse 8. Verse 7. And the swine, though he divided the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. I told you that. That pig don't want to have nothing to do with no grass or no wheat or nothing like that. He'll eat a car tire. He'll eat your foot off before he eats some grass. Okay? He'll eat his own children before he eats some grass. Okay? He is unclean to you. of their flesh ye shall not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you. So that's a law. You touch a dead pig, you unclean. And there's laws on how you have to deal with that. Okay, these ye shall eat of all that are in the waters. Okay, so now we're about to get into what I told you earlier about the lobsters and shrimp and crabs. Those are the three main things. Octopus. There's other things in the ocean that eat. I'm not sure about the octopus, but there's other things in the ocean that clean the ocean. That's their job. That's what God created them for. And we're actually pulling them out the ocean to consume them. It's insane. Why? Because we're listening to man and not God. Okay. Verse 9. These shall you eat of that are in the waters. Slack. These shall you eat of all that are in the waters. It just said all. I'll read it again. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. So if it's in the water, I don't care if it's the lake behind your house, the river that flows through the land, the ocean itself, the ocean blue. I don't care. Anything that's in water, I'm about to tell you what you can eat out of it. Okay. Okay. All right. Verse 9. These shall you eat of all that are in the waters. Whatsoever hath fins in scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. See that? I just said that. I don't care if it's a lake in your backyard, the river that flows through the land that goes to the ocean itself, okay, a pond, I don't care what it is. If it's in the water and it's got fins and scales. Listen, I'm going to tell you the story, okay? Personal story. I came into the truth. I was in the truth for, I don't know, a couple seconds. It wasn't long. A few days, I don't know. You know, so, but anyway, I came into the truth, and I already wasn't eating pork or anything like that. No sweat. Good for you. But I was eating the heck out of some tuna. Okay. I was busting down some tuna. Okay. Tuna was my stuff. Okay. So I go to Sabbath service. This is back in 2017 or something. We was having Sabbath service at Captain Shawariala crib. We that brother right there deserves a lot of, you know, recognition. Just the things I watched him do. Okay, so he loved niggas, I tell you that. But we had Sabbath service at his crib. Okay. I come to Sabbath service like, you know, I had got accustomed to, you know, about to talk about these laws, you know what I mean? What we do, you know, and somehow it came up that, you know, about what we read about now. And, you know, it came up, tuna didn't have scales. So I'm like, what the, y'all tripping? Tuna, you know what I mean? Like, no, man, y'all wrong, you wrong. So, you know, they broke it down. We pulled up some stuff on the internet, blah, blah, blah. The white man, like I said, if you listen to him, he'll tell you tuna got micro scales. Well, you can't do this and the scales come flaking off and he ain't got no scales. But I didn't know that. Okay, I didn't know tuna didn't have scales. So I left Cap crib that day. And I my witness to the Most High. After that Sabbath service, I didn't eat tuna no more because I'd rather listen to God than man. Okay? I never ate tuna again. And I'm telling you now, tuna was my thing. Like, tuna was the stuff. I didn't eat tuna no more because we read this. And that's why I'm reading it now, because somebody might not know tuna don't have scales. And we just read it has to have fins and scales if it's in the water and you're going to eat it. That's the two parameters of anything that is in all the waters of the earth. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. Any water on earth, if it's in the water and you need something to eat and you want to go fishing and find something to eat, well, this is the parameter. If you pull it out the water, it's got to fit this parameter, right? Whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. Okay? That's it. It's got to have fins and scales if it's in the water. Fins and scales. That's it. If it have scales and no fins, which I haven't heard of anything like that, but you can't eat it. If it's got scales and no fins, you can't eat it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have both. If it's got fins and scales, you can eat it. Okay? That's that. Verse 10. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, and all that move in the waters, any water, as long as you pull it out a body of water, any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. Okay? So the Lord that in the Israelite school of UPK that we listen to just said if it doesn't have fins and scales, it's an abomination to you. Okay? You can't eat it. It's got to have fins and scales. It can't have claws and, a tail that flaps. It can't have, claws and 8 legs with a shell. It's got to have fins and scales to eat it. It can't be a crab. It can't be an octopus. It can't be a shark. It can't be a tuna. Okay? Can't be a dolphin. Can't be a whale. It has to have fins and scales. Okay? That you can eat. And like I said, I'd rather listen to God than man. God created me, not man. Man didn't create me. So I'm listening to God. Okay? So we could drop that one. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 14. And see what else the God that created heaven and earth. The heaven I'm talking about right now is the clouds that you see above you. Okay? The stars, the other planets, the Milky Way, all that. Let's see what else he got to say about this dietary law that he gave blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. He gave the whole human race. It's just he chose us to enforce it. He chose Negroes to enforce it. He chose Hispanics and Native Indian people to enforce these laws that he wrote down in this book, okay? He chose you, okay? The children of Israel is who he chose to run the earth. And if you're gonna run the earth, then you can't eat camel. You can't eat anything out the sea that doesn't have fins and scales. If you're gonna run the earth, there's laws that it's just like the Caucasian race, Chinese race, the East Indians, the Arabs. They have their worlds. They have their cultures. And there's certain things you have to do in their culture. Okay? And that's the same thing with the government that the power of the universe is trying to establish on the earth, the righteous government. There's certain things you can and cannot do. Okay, and he's trying to establish that government, but before he does, there's a people he have to sift out. There's a people that he has to test. There's a people that he has to put through the fire and make sure that they are like pure gold. Okay. And those people are Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Those are the people that he's testing to see are they ready to run the earth. Okay. Because we see what's happening with the Caucasian race running the earth. It's hell. Okay. It's wars and rumors of wars. Ever since he has been in charge, that's all there's been. When Negroes run the earth, there will be no rumors of wars. There will be no wars. That's in the Bible. There will be no. It says that all the other nations will melt their weapons into plowshares. Okay, they're gonna be farmers. Okay, they're gonna grow some good corn and wheat. Okay, and bring it to our gates. Okay, so that's it. The Lord wants a righteous government. Okay, and he knows the people that he chose. He's just waiting for us to get our act together. Okay, he's just waiting for us to get our act together, and now it's about the time. You know, he's put his spirit back in the earth. He's testing us. He's checking us out. Okay, he's putting us through the fire, double check, just like Job got tested. You know what I mean? He's testing us right now. Okay, yeah. You in the ghetto. Let me see if you'll serve me anyway. Oh, you gonna serve me in the ghetto? Well, let me make this thing happen to you and see if you'll still stand strong. Oh, you're still gonna stand strong. Okay. All right, I see what you're doing. Well, I'm gonna wait a little bit while, but I'm gonna be back at you. So life is a test. Okay, and the Lord is going to test you. Okay, are you gonna stand up to that test, or are you gonna fold? This is how you stand up to the test. Just do what the Lord say. Don't do what's in your mind. Don't do what your mama say. Don't do what your wife say. Don't do what your children say. Just do what the Lord say. Even at the moment, if it's grievous. It may, you know what I mean? Because like the Lord will take something you love away from you to test you. Okay? He did it to King, I think it was King David. He killed his wife, told him, go out anyway and prophesy and don't even cry about it. Okay? So the Lord, this is the time. It's nothing but test time. Okay? You being tested. Okay? So the only way you're going to pass that test, just do what the Lord say. If you don't know what he's saying, call Officer Kazak. Call Captain Shawariyala. Call Officer Rakabi. Call Officer Thawashab. Okay? Call me. We'll let you know what the Lord's saying, what you should and should not be doing, what you should and should not be eating. Okay? All right, so let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14, and we'll start at verse 1 and read down to get down to verse 4, maybe past that. Okay? All right. So the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14 and verse 1. Okay. Ye are the children of the Lord your God. That's heavy. I can't even, I got to stop right there. Like this book, this history book just said, and okay, before I go any further, I said this the other day, I'll say it again. Anytime you're reading this book, everything in here, okay, 99.9% of everything in here is talking to the children of Israel. Okay. Now there's scriptures when, the Lord actually, might mention somebody, some Gentile real quick, a heathen, like when he say, Jacob that I love, but Esau have I hated. So for a second there, he talked about somebody else, but he told Jacob he loved him. Okay. All right. So when I just read, ye are the children of the Lord your God, is talking to Israel. Okay. Lost 12 tribes. Okay. Again, Deuteronomy chapter 14 and verse 1. Ye are the children of the Lord your God. Now, that being said, now that you know that, you can look at your life like this. Like these laws is everything. I've said this before. If you got, if you Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, you cannot keep the laws, but that don't mean the laws don't exist. You can't get away from it. The Lord said, you keep the laws, you're on top. You don't keep the laws, you're on the bottom. So it's going to be either one, either or. Okay. It's not, the laws don't exist, I'm going to go do this. Well, now you're going to get punished. But if you keep the laws, you're going to be in heaven. Okay. You don't keep the laws, you're in hell. You're on the bottom. You're getting shot in the streets. You know what I mean? You're getting racially profiled. You're getting hung on trees. You keep the laws, then, the earth works in your favor. Okay, so you can't get away from the laws. The laws is part of your life, period. Can't get away from it. There's no middle ground. There's no middle ground. Or I'm going to just be right here in the middle. No, you're either keeping them or you're not. You're either on the top or you're on the bottom, okay? Okay, and that's what I'm saying is, if you're a father and you're a child, you got children, and your children aren't doing what you're saying, you're going to punish them. That's the only way you can teach them that they should be doing what you said. That's the only way you're going to show them that there's a consequence for not doing what you say. You can't just say, oh, well, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? That's fine. No. You got to punish them to make them feel that pain that comes along with not doing what you say. Because you run things. They don't run shit. You run the house. Okay? That's how God is. This whole earth is our house, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. But God run this house. We don't run this house. Okay? So you're not doing what he say, he gonna spank that tail. Okay? And that's what's so heavy about it. Like, that's what Christ came and broke down for us. Because in this Old Testament, we call our God a terrible power. We was afraid of him. We didn't understand him. We didn't know what was what. God darn. All he do is kill us for not doing what he say. Well, then Christ said, well, yeah, that's right, because he's your father. You're his children. Christ broke it down to the bone gristle. Made you understand. The man loves you. The power loves you. That's why you're getting your tail spanked. Now straighten up and get yourself together. Eat what he said to eat. Okay? Recognize the days he told you to recognize, because he's your daddy. Do what he say to do. Don't do what another man say to do. Okay? God created you, not that man. God created you. Okay? Deuteronomy 14 and 1. Ye are the children of the Lord your God. Ye shall not cut yourselves, nor make any baldness between your eyes for the dead. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. Okay, these are some laws too. Okay. You're not supposed to cut yourself, not get tattoos. You ain't supposed to shave in certain spots in certain ways. Okay. Why? Because your daddy told you not to do it. Okay. Verse 2. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. So he's telling you this because you know why? The heathens was doing it. Other people were doing it. And all we want to do is be like them and do what the heck they doing. Well, the Lord said you're supposed to be holy. You're supposed to be separate. You different from them. If I see a African drinking piss and bathing in piss, well, I don't want you to do that, Israel. I don't want you doing that. Okay. If I see, an Egyptian shaving his head and doing this, that, and the third, I don't want you to do that. You are separate. You're better than that, Israel. Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. You don't do it, okay? Because you are his chosen. You are his children. And you're supposed to be, superior in everything. Separate, holy. Oh, so y'all celebrate Christmas? We don't do that. Okay, that's how you're supposed to be. Oh, y'all celebrate happy birthdays? We don't do that because you're holy to your God. You're separate. You're special. Oh, you eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster? We don't do that. That's how we're supposed to be. Why? Because our God told us to be that way. That's the only way you're going to run the earth. Okay? Verse 2. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. So don't do it, okay? And the Lord hath chosen thee to be a particular people unto himself above all the nations that are upon the earth. That's what. Can you feel that? Can you feel that? The Lord wants you to be particular. Okay. Oh, okay. It's like if you go out into a field, you go to a field and there's just plants everywhere. There's nice flowers. There's flowers everywhere. But you're looking for a particular flower. The Lord don't want just any flower. He don't want a flower that has shaving bald heads. He don't want a flower that eats pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. The Lord is looking for a particular flower. That flower that he's looking for should be you, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, woman, and child. You should be that particular flower. Okay? He said he wants you to be a particular person. That means particular, there's something special about you. You are particular. You're different from everything else. That's how the Lord wants you to stand out in the earth. That's how he wants you to be. Why don't you want to be particular to the Lord? You want to be like white people, Chinese people? They're not particular. If you keep these laws and do what the Lord say, eat what he said to eat, celebrate days he said to celebrate, dress the way he said dress, speak the way he said speak, he would consider you particular. I want to be particular. It just sounds nice. Doesn't that sound nice? Yeah, it does. Particular. I want to be particular to my God. Why don't you want to be particular, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian woman, man, and child? I want to be particular. You want to be particular, Ava? You want to be particular? Yeah, I do too. Okay, so that's what we should be doing. We should be particular to our power, okay? And if you're particular, this is what you'll be. Above, I'm reading it right here in the bottom of verse 2, chapter Deuteronomy, chapter 14, bottom of verse 2. You'll be above all the nations that are upon the earth. There's that word earth again, okay? Earth and world are two different things. Now, there's a lot of nations. If you look up nations, it'll tell you it's a family of people. Chinese people is a nation, okay? The Caucasian race is a nation. The Arab nation is a nation. The East Indians is a nation, okay? The Africans, the Ethiopians, they're a nation, okay? But the Lord said, if you become that particular people to him and do what he said, eat how he said to eat, you'll be particular in above all the nations, families that are upon the earth. Verse 3, thou shalt not eat any abominable thing. Now, this is going to help you be particular. If you listen to this and do this, okay? Now, he didn't say you couldn't eat meat. He said not to eat what was abominable to him, that unclean thing. And we ran through that in the last verse, okay? We ran through that in the last verse, okay? Leviticus chapter 11, okay? You can read that whole chapter and it's going to tell you what is abominable to the Most High, okay? So right here, verse 3, thou shalt not eat any abominable thing. These, verse 4, these are the beasts which ye shall eat. Again, this is how I started it off. God did not say mankind cannot eat meat. Okay? So if you are saying mankind was not designed to eat meat, you don't believe in the Bible, you don't love God, you don't love these laws, statutes, and commandments, and you don't want to be particular to the Most High God, okay? Deuteronomy 14:3. Thou shalt not eat any abominable thing. These are the beasts which ye shall eat, okay? Ye shall eat. This is what you can eat. You can eat meat, okay? But there's a particular meat that you can't eat. You can't just eat any meat. You can't just eat any beast, okay? We read it earlier. It had to be cloven-footed, okay? Divided the hoof and chew the cud. If it's meat that come out of the waters, it's got to have fins and scales. You can eat meat. The God that created the universe, the stars, the planets, the oceans, the mountains, the trees, the beasts, the fish, mankind, and every creeping living thing said that you can eat meat. Now, again, if you don't want to eat meat, fine, don't eat meat. But don't teach that mankind cannot or was not designed to eat meat, because that's not in the book. That find me another book that shows the who created everything says that. Now, if you're just going off what man say, well, see, you're wrong. I'm not listening to man. I'm listening to God. Okay. I'm listening to the power of the universe. Let me see something. Where's it? Real quick. Okay. All right. So Officer Kazak busted out for us right there. Now, okay, let's get into it. Let's get into the meat of this scripture. Okay. Okay. Let's get into the meat of it. You hot? Okay. All right. Deuteronomy 14:4. These are the beasts which ye shall eat: the ox, okay, the sheep, and the goat. Okay, that ox, that's like what's that? The buffalo, I guess, almost like. Okay. The sheep and the goat. The hart and the roebuck. And the fowler deer. And the wild goat. And the pegar. And the wild ox. And the camayas. And every beast that parteth the hoof and cheweth the cud, that cloveth into two claws, and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that ye shall eat. Okay, this one gave a lot more versions of the beasts that you can eat by name. Okay, it gave you the wild ox, the deer, okay, the fowler deer, the roebuck, the hart, the goat, the ox, the sheep, okay? It gave you a lot more examples, okay? I'm not going to go and, look them all up and show you who or what they are, but you have the verse right here, okay? Deuteronomy 14:5-6. You want to do the research and find out what those beasts are, what they look like, go ahead. But at the end, it's telling you right here, those beasts that this scripture just named, basically these are the parameters, okay? And every beast that parteth the hoof and cheweth the cud, Salakia, every beast that parteth the hoof and cloveth the cliff into two claws and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that ye shall eat. So basically it's saying everything I said earlier in Deuteronomy 11. It's gotta have that hoof, okay, but it has to have a part in the middle of the hoof, and they got to chew the cud. They can't, eat meat. They can't eat garbage. They can't eat poop. It's got to have the divided hoof and chew the cud. If that beast do anything than that, then it's unclean to you. It's an abominable thing to you, okay? Unto the Most High, okay? Okay. Let's read verse 7. Nevertheless, but these ye shall not eat of them that cheweth the cud, or of them that divideth the hoof, the cloven hoof, Slakia. Okay, so if you find an animal, a beast that actually chew the cud, but doesn't have that divided hoof, cross him off the list. He's unclean. Or if he had the divided hoof, but don't chew the cud, again, cross him off the list, okay? You got to have those two things that they do, and then you can eat that beast, okay? Verse 7, nevertheless, these Ye shall not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divideth the hoof, the cloven hoof, as the camel, and the hare, and the coney. For they chew the cud, but divideth not the hoof. So you got to have both. He might chew the cud, but if he ain't got divided hoof, cross him off the list. Okay. Therefore, they are unclean to you. They are unclean unto you. Again, I'm listening to God, not man. Okay. I'm not eating anything man put on my plate. I'm making sure it's ordained by the Most High God. Okay. Verse 8. And the swine, because it divided the hoof. Almost went past that. The Lord just called out pork. He just called it out. He just called out that particular thing that the whole earth loves to eat. The Lord called it out by name and said you can't eat it. He just called it out by name. Okay? Deuteronomy chapter 14 and verse 8. Okay? We'll start at verse 7. I'll read it through to verse 8 because I want you to hear it. The Lord saying you can't eat the swine. The swine is the pig. Deuteronomy 14 and 7. Nevertheless, these ye shall not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divideth the cloven hoof, as the camel and the hare and the coney. For they chew the cud, but divideth not the hoof. They are unclean unto you. And, okay, we just read some stuff that was unclean to you. And we're going to add to that list. And the swine. That's that pig. Let's find out why. Because it divideth the hoof. So, like I said earlier, pig's got that, he's got that hoof, and there's a division in it right there down the middle. Yet cheweth not the cud. It is unclean unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. Okay? The Lord just made it plain and simple. If you believe in the Bible, if you believe there is a God, if you believe there's a God that created the universe and everything in it, including yourself, well, he just laid out his dietary law for mankind. Okay? And the mankind that he chose to enforce this law, this dietary law, is the so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Indians. Now, if you're not keeping the law yourself, how in the hell do you expect anybody else to keep it? Okay? We got to stop eating that pork. Got to stop eating shrimp, crab, and lobster. Okay? And anything else that is not in Leviticus chapter 11. Okay? And Deuteronomy right here, chapter 14. But that's heavy because the God of the universe called out the pig. That one thing that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians seem to just can't get enough of. Okay? Your God, whether you believe in him or not, he's your God. Because we went into a covenant with him. So your power just called out a particular beast that you should not be eating. He didn't say you couldn't eat no beast, but he laid out which ones you could and could not eat. And among the ones that you cannot eat is the swine. We just read it. He called it out by name. And why? Because it divideth the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud. And I told y'all that pig was designed to clean the earth. That's what it was made for. It's a living garbage can. Could you imagine that? Like eating a tire and being able to live and poop it out. Like, and then guess what? A beetle's gonna come along and take care of that poop. Fly's gonna come along and take care of that poop. The Lord has set up this earth to run a certain way. This earth is designed to thrive and be clean. But when we throw the whole thing off course by eating up all the things that the Lord put in the earth to clean the earth, now the earth is dirty. Now the earth is, you know what I mean, it's out of order, unbalanced, whatever you want to call it. Because we are doing the things that our power told us not to do. Okay? So as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and anybody at that matter, if you want a better world, a better earth, you should pray for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian people to run the earth, because we're the only ones who were giving the plan and the authority to make this earth run properly, okay, under Yahushua, the King of the Jews, okay? So let's see if there's any more. Verse 9, Deuteronomy 14:9. Ye shall eat of all that are in the waters, all that have fins and scales shall ye eat. Okay? So the Lord double tapped on this thing, okay? Okay? So he told us what we should and should not eat when we first came out of captivity in the book of Leviticus. Okay? And now he's telling us again, once we get, you know what I mean, once we start to establish this rulership, okay, well, let me remind y'all Negroes what you should and should not be eating, so this earth to run properly. Because I know y'all ain't used to authority, okay? And that's what we're trying to do today in 2023. We're trying to remind Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians before we get this authority, how we're supposed to run the earth, okay? That's what this thing's all about, okay? Us coming back to the authority that was given to us by the power that created the whole universe, okay? All right, Deuteronomy 14:9. These ye shall eat of all that are in the waters. All that have fins and scales ye shall eat. We went over that, okay? Whatsoever have not fins and scales, ye may not eat. It is unclean to you, okay? Of all clean birds ye shall eat, but these are they which ye shall not eat: the eagle and the ostrich and the osprey and the glede and the kite and the vulture after his kind, and every raven after his kind, the owl and the nighthawk and the chiku and the hawk after his kind, the little owl and the great owl and the swan and the pelican and the eagle, it's like it, and the gear eagle and the cormorant and the stork and the heron after her kind, and the lapwing and the bat. Okay, the Lord just called out the bat. Listen, again, we gotta listen to God and not man. Don't listen to Chinese people that tell you can't eat bat, okay? Listen to God who just told you can't eat bat, okay? And every creeping thing that flieth is unclean unto you, they shall not be eaten, okay? So everything that the Lord, he told you what you can eat, and he told you what you could not eat that flies in the air, okay? And you know what I mean? Like, He's not breaking it down to why. You know, but I tell you, those birds, all the birds that he just named, they're flesh eaters. Okay, they're flesh eaters. I know that. Okay, all them birds he just named, they're flesh eaters. Even the pelican eat fish. You know what I mean? Like he's, you know, but I'm not questioning the Lord. He said not to eat it. I'm not eating it. Okay, that's that. Okay, and again, just like he called out that pig by name, that's why Negroes got high blood pressure and diabetes and heart disease. He just called out the bat. That's why you got coronavirus, okay, and other things going on, because we're not adhering to these dietary laws. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we got to hurry up and get ourselves together so we don't have to go through these plagues anymore. We don't have to see another coronavirus. We ain't got to see another AIDS plague. You know what I mean? We got to get ourselves together so this earth will run right, okay? And you know what I mean? And we'll have heaven on earth, the kingdom, okay? So we could drop that one. Let's go to never eat defiled. Ezekiel 14:4. Let's see what Zeke got to say about it. Zeke was hardcore, okay? Let's see what Zeke got to say. Oh no, Zeke chapter 4 and verse 14. All right. Chapter 4 and verse 14. Okay. All right, so we're going to go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 4 and verse 14. I'll start at 13, one verse up, see if that'll help us out, okay? All right, the book of Ezekiel, chapter 4 and verse 13. And the Lord said, see, that's it started out. It started out good to me. The Lord said this. It didn't say, Moab said, or Esau said, or the Ethiopian said. It said the Lord said this, okay? And we ought to listen to the Lord, not man, okay? All right, so Ezekiel chapter 4 and verse 13. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whether I will drive them. Then said I, okay, so now this is Zeke talking. Then said I, Lord God, okay, Lord God, just so y'all know, that's the Most High, Yahweh, or the Most High, that God right there, all right? It's got a exclamation point next to it. Zeke serious. Zeke trying to get some, the Lord's attention. Behold, my soul have not been polluted, for from my youth up, even till now, have I not eaten of that which dieth of itself, or is torn in pieces. neither came their abominable flesh into my mouth. So that's heavy, because Zeke saying, look here, Lord, Yahweh, Sir, Most High Power, you know what I mean? Because the Lord just told him, you know what I mean? You're going to eat that defiled bread. You going into slavery, you know what I mean? And Zeke's like, Lord, I didn't, and that's heavy, because when we came out of, just think about this. When Moses brought us out of Egypt, you don't think there was Negroes among us who, you know what I mean, who didn't want to leave Egypt, or who was, you know, doing certain things, but we all came out together. And Zeke saying, you know what I mean, Lord, you tell him we're going to go into the ghetto, we're going to go into captivity, but I didn't do nothing wrong. Well, listen, you don't think there was niggas who went on them slave ships who didn't do nothing wrong? And we was like, why am I going into slavery? Because the Lord he's not a respecter of man. The Lord see us as a family, okay? And he's not dividing, the Lord ain't dividing his family up. He's not putting part of the family in protective child services and the other half let them, you know, rule the earth. Nah, y'all a family. Y'all stand together. So, you know what I mean? You go into captivity together, you come out of captivity together. Okay, and that's how we coming out of this captivity, together. Ain't nobody, the scriptures say, all Israel shall be saved. Okay? All Israel shall be saved. Okay? And that Zeke saying, listen, Zeke's talking to the Most High. And here's the thing, like, this is what is so crucial about it. He's saying he didn't do it. You know what I mean? I never, no abominable thing ever touched my mouth. So guess what? He knew there was law, statutes, and commandments. All right. Zeke knew there was law, statutes, and commandments. Isaiah knew there was law, statutes, and commandments. Jeremiah knew there was law, statutes, and commandments. Job knew there was law, statutes, and commandments. King David knew there was law, statutes, and commandments. Okay? Amos knew there was law, statutes, and commandments. Ezra knew there was law, statutes, and commandments. Everybody knows. Guess what? Matthew knew there was law, statutes, and commandments. Yahushua knew there was law, statutes, and commandments. The New Testament and the Old Testament, it's one long history, okay, of a people that God chose. Show you your ups and downs, where you came from, where you been, where you going, okay? This book is one book. It's not two different books. You can't sit here and say the law is done away with now that we're in the New Testament. If that was the case, Yahushua would have never said one jot or one tittle should not be done away with the law until all be fulfilled. Yahushua said, I didn't come to do away with the laws or the prophets. Who was the prophets? We're reading one of them now. Zeke, Negroes. Christ didn't come to do away with that. He didn't come to say, don't do that no more. That's done away with. Nah, Christ came to fulfill it. What Zeke's talking about right now, Christ came to fulfill it. Not eating any abominable thing, okay? That's what this whole thing is about. Obedience. The whole thing is about obedience. Listening to God and not man. Okay? That's what this whole thing is about, my people. That's what this whole thing is about. All right? Okay? All right. Let's go to bubbly. I think we want to go to the book of Acts, where I think Peter said we ought to listen to God, not man. Okay. Just get that one. We ought to listen to God, not man. There it is. I'm gonna read this one, and then we'll go. I'm gonna let y'all have it. Okay. Okay. So let's go to the book of Acts. The book of Acts, chapter 5, and verse 29. And this is what we should be saying, okay? This is how we should be living. We should not be listening to any person on the earth that's telling you you can or cannot eat meat, okay? God said you can eat meat. We should not be listening to any person say, well, you can eat meat, but you can eat any meat. No, God said there's a meat you can and cannot eat. Okay, anything in the sea, he told you what you can eat out of the sea. He told you what beasts you can eat of the earth. Okay, there's many laws, and we should be keeping them all. Okay, God said, he told us who we can sleep with, who we can marry. Okay, he told us what days to show reverence to. Okay. Okay, so listen, that's what we should be on. And Peter said it right here in the book of Acts, chapter 5 and verse 29. I'm going to read it real quick, okay? Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than man. Okay? So I just wanted to give you that one to end the class with. We should be listening to God. I don't care what nutcase comes on the internet and tells you, the laws are done away with. I don't care what nutcases in the Christian church telling you the laws are done away with. Okay? I don't care if it's not in this Bible, then don't listen to it. Okay, don't do it. Follow God. Listen to God. If you're Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man, woman, or child, I'm talking to you. You ought to listen to God, the God that created the universe, the stars, the planets, the mountains, the ocean, the trees, the wind, the moon. This place is so great when you stop and look at it. The clouds. This is a beautiful reality that we live in, that our God gave us. He created it for you. But the only way it's going to stay beautiful is if you keep these laws, statutes, and commandments and run the earth so the other nations, the other Gentiles, don't destroy the earth and the universe. Okay? So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the class. We're the ISUPK, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We're under Commanding General Yohana. We're not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. And we've been doing this since 1969, teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that they ought to obey God, okay, and not man, okay? We got the Passover coming up, April 1st, Raleigh, North Carolina, okay? If you haven't already, make your arrangements to be there. Go to isupk.com, pay your Passover fee, and when you get there, take advantage of the transportation that they have, available. That's going to help you move through the city because it's going to be very congested and busy. Okay, so any courtesy vehicles they have available for you, go ahead and use that and take advantage of it. Okay, and hopefully I'll see you at the Passover. Okay, with that, I'm going to salute everybody out. To the brothers, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Barakatham, Salakia. And to the sisters, Yahweh Shemal Alathan by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay. Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Shalom. Clap it up. We'll see y'all Friday night. Officer Itazar will be getting it in with the Lashawan Kadash class, okay? So y'all check that brother out and learn, your native tongue, the holy tongue, okay? Okay, Israel Shalom.